living in Utah, mental health is so freaking taboo. And I think also after losing my ex-husband to suicide, I was like, why is mental health not talked about more? And like, even for males, I know I'm coming from more of a woman perspective, but for males, like, I know my ex-husband had different issues and different things, but talking about mental health and making a safe space for women to know, look, I'm talking about this, kind of like you, just like with sex and all the things, like, it should not be taboo.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Law of Cassidy, where we talk intimacy, business, power, healing, and we have conversations that most people are too uncomfortable to have. Today's guest is Jessi Campbell.
Hi.
She's a mom, public speaker, podcast host, and founder of, I do not want to say this wrong. Mom and
So it's momentum, but it's a play on words. So Momentum Project.
I love that.
So,
and an online fitness coach. And we were just talking about how she even like came into my sphere, and this hottie McHottie was modeling lingerie. So before we get into like all that, give us that story. What was that?
Yeah. So Ballard Venues, which is in Draper, Utah, they just like needed some models they posted. And so I was like, hey, I'll do it. And then we did not know our lingerie, like what we were wearing though, till the day before. So I was kind of thinking, cause it was partnered with Ivy City. So I was kind of thinking maybe a little more modest.
Like Ivy City, the dresses.
Yes, the dresses. Okay. Yeah. And so I was kind of thinking this is gonna be like cutie loungewear. Nope. Full on, like my ass was out, like red lingerie, like everything.
Yeah. So I see this hottie McHottie like just walk in, and I'm like, look at this girl. And I hit follow, and then we connected, and here we are. So I always like to start with some rapid fire warm up random questions. I want the world to get to know you. So coffee or pre-workout?
Coffee.
Okay. Do you have a certain coffee you like?
No, I mean, like I was raised super Mormon, so never drank coffee, but I do like the Golden Eagles from
that's a solid
Dutch
one.
Bros. Yeah. Iced or hot, I can go either way.
Yeah.
So.
I have to get sugar-free. I try and make it better, but even the sugar-free is terrible, but it's
so good. Yes.
Shout out to Dutch Bros.
Yes.
Sponsor Snake.
Sponsor.
Okay. Most used emoji right now.
Laughing, crying emoji.
Okay. Just cause
I don't know. I laugh at everything.
But then you're crying too?
But I'm crying too. I don't know. Like, I'm just always like, oh, haha, LOL.
I love it. Okay. Biggest green flag in a person?
Green flag.
Like positive. Like, oh yeah, that's.
I would say like lighthearted person. Like, I feel like when I meet someone and their just aura and their energy is just like light and not heavy. Yeah. Green flag. Green flag.
Okay. What's your toxic trait?
Oh no. Toxic trait. Oh, like I've been screwed too many times. Like if you do something, I will find out about it. Like I will deep dive you on the internet, like FBI agent.
Oh girl,
like,
we need to start an agency.
Yes.
Like I will find your cousin's sister's brother's wife, second removed. I'll know where you went to high school.
Exactly.
And I'm going to find your address too.
Yes. I'm psychotic like that.
Perfect.
So don't screw me over.
Don't screw her over. Noted. Okay. Best and worst part of being a mom.
Oh my gosh. I think the best part is healing part of myself. I think raising kids, how I want to raise them and healing like a little inner Jessi. I think the worst part is that every day is a new day. Like you never know how your kids are going to wake up. You never know. And so it's a new challenge every day that you kind of have to face and battle, which I think just has challenges in and of itself. So
yeah, that is so true. Okay. Last thing that made you laugh out loud.
Oh my gosh. My husband's going to kill me.
Oh, this is going to be a good one.
We were running and he ripped ass like really bad. And I like could not breathe and was gagging and laughing and
That's the worst, man.
Sorry, babe.
Shout out to that. At least it wasn't in bed. I hate it when my husband, sorry to my husband.
Under the sheets.
Bed. Oh, and they just act like it just doesn't like
And I'm like,
exist.
we all fart, breathe. But like, are you kidding me,
It's like
bro?
So bad you can taste it.
Yes.
It's so terrible.
Yes.
Okay, so if your life had a reality show title, what would it be?
Shit. Chaotic Jessi.
Jessi.
Chaos in Jessi's life. Yeah.
I love it. We all have chaos.
Yes.
Okay, so I kind of want to go into the like mom dynamic and like who you are and your like core story and identity. So what was a defining moment in your life that completely shifted your direction?
Man, I have a lot of those. This one's more recent, and I don't know if you want to get into it, but my ex-husband passed away a little bit over a year ago.
I do want to get into that.
Yeah. I feel like for me, that was a defining moment as a mom, only because I had struggled with just suicidal ideology throughout my life. And when that happened, I was like, there's no way I can leave my kids. Like, there's just nothing that could happen on this planet that I would want to leave my child. And before, I kind of was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. And we can get into more of that, but that was definitely a defining moment as a mother of, I cannot leave my child on this earth by themselves.
Are your kids connected to that dynamic?
Yes. So my son is connected to my ex-husband.
Okay.
And then I'm remarried and have a daughter with him.
How was he with that dynamic?
My husband now?
No, your son that was connected to your ex-husband.
Yeah. So he passed away when my son was 4.
Okay.
Previous to that, though, the last time he had seen him was September of 24. And he had passed away in February of 25. So he FaceTimed on Christmas and his birthday, which was a week apart from each other. And that was kind of it. I just tell everyone he did the best he could, but it wasn't what he should have done, in my opinion, as a father. But he was not super involved with my son. My son understood it, though. He understood, like,
they do.
He's in heaven. He died. He does not know more than that, but he hasn't asked. He asks every now and again, just as curious kids do. But my husband's been a part of his life since he was 1.
So he's dad.
He's dad.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so give us a little bit about your story and maybe some stuff that people could misunderstand or never see about you.
I think most people misunderstand what I went through in high school and what I went through in middle school. I mean, I moved when I was 12 years old. I moved from pretty much everyone and everything I knew. And so going into a high school, my hair's straight, but I have very naturally curly hair. I was tall, not your typical Utah County girl,
which is a thing.
It is. Yes.
They're all blonde and 95 pounds.
No, literally. And I just didn't fit that. I was very tall, flat chested, braces, curly hair. I just did not fit the Utah standard. And I don't even think I realized that there was a Utah mold until moving out of Utah. There is such a dynamic of how you fit in here, which sucks. And so I think in high school, I was really boy crazy. I had a lot of things going on in my home life. And I feel like so many people misunderstood that. They just were like, there's this crazy girl who's obsessed with boys. And I'm like, you don't know half the crap of my story. And that then I feel like also bled into college a little bit of kind of went off the deep end, just drinking and partying.
Was it off the deep end though, or was it off the deep end in the dynamic of the Utah culture?
Dynamic of the Utah culture, for
so
sure.
That's not off the deep end.
No, because
I think that's just how we're raised, right? We deal with this living in Utah and and that's also why I do this podcast, and it's called The Law of Cassidy. Yeah. If you know, you know. Yes, but so when I'm sorry to interrupt you in that dynamic, but I'm like, we just naturally do that, right? Yep. Off the deep end, I call that finding yourself.
Yes.
Right? Having learning, experiencing, and figuring out what is the path you want to go on.
Yeah. So I think that being raised, very Mormon, and it's just, you don't drink, you don't do this, you don't take this, you don't, and it's like, okay, but why? Kind of like your last episode, you were talking, there's no why, there's no explanation.
Yeah. And it's sex too. It's very shameful. And then people are dealing with not understanding their own bodies and their partner's bodies. And then we deal with a whole thing, which we're going to get into the whole faith evolution here. Yes. So, okay. Who were you before life got hard, and who are you now because of it?
Oh man. I feel like I was a very tiny person inside. I think I have a very loud, outgoing personality. So I feel like a lot of people know that about me. I'm just very loud, outgoing, bubbly, but inside I was like a shell of human. And then after probably the last 5 to 6 years of my life, I've grown into this no, I'm a badass. I've been through some shit and nobody's going to take that away from me, but I'm also not going to fall victim to it. And I'm just going to be a better person and share more of my story so more women know it's okay to go through hard shit and you'll come out a better person because of it. Yeah.
So can you share a moment where everything felt like it was falling apart, but it was actually falling into place? I've had so many moments like that, right? And when you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was probably my divorce, becoming a single mom. I had no family. I had stopped talking to my family, and I was essentially cut off from everyone. Siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles. I was not able to talk to anybody. I moved out of state, and I was trying to make it work with my ex-husband. You know, maybe some separation would do us well, and then I found out he was cheating, so it didn't matter. Like, I was just like, it's over. And then, so going through that, you know, I constantly was like, why, God? Like, why do I have to become a single mom? Like, I work so hard for all the things that I do in my life. And I started sharing an apartment with another single mom, and my son was 8 to 9 months old. And I just, like, that I feel like was also kind of my defining moment of going into who I am now. I guess just being a single mom was one of the hardest things. And I wasn't one for a very long period of time. I know there's women who go their whole lives being a single mom, but that kind of just led into everything that I'm doing now. So
and I don't even know what that's like. I don't know if you watched the episode where I had one of my best friends, Haley, on here, where she lost her husband when her son was 7 days old.
Oh my gosh.
In a tragic car accident, and just taking on that mom role, but also doing it alone. Like, it's so shout out to all the single moms out there. Seriously. I don't know how you do it. It takes a freaking army, and I have one.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you know about your own strength that you didn't know 5 years ago?
What do I know about my own strength? The fact that I got through stuff that I feel like not every person can get through. I think there's things I went through that nobody, like, I'm in therapy right now, and we were talking about how some of the things I've experienced, like, sometimes 80-year-olds don't even experience, like, they don't like death and stuff. Like, most people don't experience that until a lot later in life. And so she was like, you're pouring into this cup of being a 27-year-old, and you're having to deal with all these things that most people don't typically deal with, like divorce at 21. Like, that's not, I feel like now it's a little bit more typical, just because being in Utah, people get married at such a young age, and they're now learning because of those decisions that those relationships don't work. And
it's something that I always hone in on, that we all have shit, and you don't know everyone else's shit. And Brooke said it perfectly, that episode where she was like, I would rather take my own struggles and my own shit than someone else's, because if we really saw behind closed doors like what they're going through, I'll keep my shit. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. And everyone's is so different too.
And it's served to you for a reason.
Yes. Yeah.
So, okay. So your relationship with the Mormon church has been evolving.
Yes.
So what does that mean for you? And then I'll kind of share my stance, I guess.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. So I guess we go back, like, I was born into the church. My parents are LDS. And I've always gone. I didn't know anything different. Growing up, I don't think I necessarily fought with the church very much. I know there's a lot of people who are, you know, in their teenage years, and they're like rebellious. I didn't care to go to church, but I had friends at church. And so living in Utah, everyone's Mormon. You just go to church. I will say, like, there was consequences if I didn't go to church. So that was also like, you have to go to church, and that's not an option. Which I feel like is changing a little bit too. And the dynamic of parents are being a little bit more open, which I think is great.
It's only like 2 hours now too.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Jeez, I was like a raw dog, and in 4 hours. I'm like,
legit. Like, in college is when they like took it down to 2 hours. I'm like, so my whole life. 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then in college, I got into drinking, like smoking. And so that kind of took a little turn of just like something different, like kind of what you said earlier, just like, who am I going to be in my life? And dabbled in that. And then, met my husband, had sex before marriage, got pregnant. So I think there's a lot of things that as I was growing up, like, I was just, I don't know. The last couple of years though, we lived in Arizona, and like finding myself and realizing that God just loves me for me, and Jesus loves me for me, and he doesn't care at the end of the day.
Yeah. I always joke about, so have you ever seen the picture of Christ in any of by Jenny Fowler, the hot Jesus picture?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, you should show me.
So there's a hot Jesus picture.
Hot Jesus picture.
He looks like Chris Cornell. And all my friends are like, call him the hot Jesus.
Yeah.
But I raised Mormon. My husband served a mission.
Okay.
We are what you would say, I don't know, I've had people call me Jack, Mormon. I just like to say this is hot Jesus. That's hot Jesus.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm pretty sure I have that picture in my house.
See, every Mormon does.
Yes.
I truly believe, and I've joked with my dad about this. I don't know if he loves it, but I've been like, man, we're going to die. We're all going to die one day. And we're all going to end up at the same place. Yeah. And you're going to be mad you didn't have a margarita. Like,
yeah.
And my dad's like, murr, murr.
Yeah.
But my parents are very supportive. I've been very, I think people either go one way or the other.
Yes.
I think people who decide the church isn't for them go to the level of like anti.
Yep.
Which
or atheist.
I don't like the anti. I don't like the let's smear campaign. Let's talk all this.
Yep.
I don't like that. Or if I want to go on Easter, I go.
Yeah.
If I want to go on Christmas, sounds great.
Yeah.
If I want to let, the cute little, I don't even know what they call them, the Relief Society, housekeeper, home teachers. What do they call them now?
I don't even know what they call them now.
Came to my house and it was so fun. Like I just caught up with them.
Ministering sisters.
Oh, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah, it's now a thing.
Like I left when I was like 16.
Okay,
so.
yeah.
But like and so one of my ministering sisters, she listens to this, she's gonna be like, she talked about me. I'm not gonna name drop, but she's like in my neighborhood too. Yeah. So we like her at the bus stop every morning.
Yes.
And something that's fun about her is she has created content just based off Christ. So her entire social media is just sharing about her belief in Christ and like sharing that message. And I'm like, isn't it so cool that there could be somebody like you and somebody like me and we're good.
And
it's because we don't fall into the mold of the Utah Mormon dynamic. Yep. So I'm here to tell you, if your friend is in a sex swing on the internet and doesn't go to church every week, but she's there on Easter, she still loves Jesus and she's still a good person.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I truly believe that. I just think be a good person. I absolutely hate the judgmental side of it. Yeah. I wish the church was more about your I think the people ruin the church.
Yes.
And my 100%. Mother has taught me that. She has always said, man, and my parents are very Mormon. Yeah. But my mom is also very open. Yeah. And she has always taught me that, man makes mistakes and man is not perfect and God is perfect. Yeah. And, that bishop could say that thing that was offensive to you, or that bishop could make the choice to punish you differently than another. And what you have to remember is it has nothing to do with man, and it has everything to do with your relationship with Christ. I did not know we were going to go all Jesus here, but there you go, guys. That's my stance on religion. Okay. Yeah. So, what have you had to separate faith versus institution? How are you living your life now that you are like, I'm good, I'm fine? Are you raising your kids in the church? Are you choosing not to? Where are you at?
Yeah, that's been something that my husband and I have so my husband's actually a convert. So his family's not really religious at all. They went to little non-denominational Christian churches when he was growing up.
Rock Band Church.
What?
Have you heard of Rock Band Church?
No.
Oh my gosh, Rock Band Church is the best.
Okay.
So you wear jeans and you drink coffee and they play. There's a rock band. I call it Rock Band Church, and they're Jesus loving. You gotta Google it. It's the thing.
Okay, yeah.
That's that's what I call Rock Band Church.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Okay, anyways, I'm like Rock Band Church.
Rock Band Church. Yeah. No. So he wasn't raised in any particular way. Met missionaries when he was 16 because his sisters were little hotties, and how he was like, oh, they're cute. So gave him a time of day. He went into the Navy for a little bit, and then after he got back, he was just going through sobriety, different things, and found sobriety through the church and converted. It was about a year before I met him. And so we actually met through YSA church, and we got married, sealed in the temple.
Remind me what that stands for.
Young single adults.
Thank you. Sorry, I knew it was something. Yeah. I've heard it before, but I was like, what was that one again?
And I technically was not supposed to be in that ward because I had a kid, but I was like, I'm literally 22 with a 1-year-old. Can I not? I'm not going to some family ward.
Oh yeah, no.
No. So I don't know how it worked, but Jesus worked his ways. But yeah, so convert. And then we were living in Arizona, and we explored just a couple different churches, and we found one that we really liked, but we were still going to Mormon church. And then we moved back to Utah, good old Utah. And my husband hates the church here. And I don't want to speak too much for him and his testimony and everything, but we're aligned on a lot of stuff. We were living with my parents for about a year, and it was kind of a requirement to go to church while living there. And after we bought our house and moved out, I don't know, there's just things in the Utah ideology that we don't want our kids to experience or raise. And my story is very different than his because he's a convert. So he, you know, is just like, love God. God loves me. Jesus loves me. Like, helped me find out. We're good. But he also doesn't believe in, I mean, he's got a full sleeve of tattoos. Like, he doesn't believe in, like, okay, we have to go to church every single Sunday to be the best people in the whole world. Like, but we're still very spiritual, religious people. We love God. We've just looked at like a couple different Christian churches throughout the valley, and I love worship music. That was never a thing growing up. And like, worship music, I feel like, is what touches me, and like I love it so much. And that's how I feel like I've found Jesus in Christ, and just not like understood that they love me for me, and like there is a reason like Jesus died for us, and like we have that forgiveness process, but not, I feel like, how you said, how man have kind of taught it in the religion. And I feel like perfectionism also falls in the church a lot, just being black or white. And I feel like the church is, you either have to be all in and wearing your garments and doing all these things, or you out. Like, and that for me is like way too complex. Like I
call it checkbox church.
Yes.
Like we're checking a box, and I'm like, how about instead of worrying why Sister Smith is not wearing her garments, we instead check on her and say like, hey, is there anything I can help you with? Seems like you're kind of overwhelmed by your kids. Can I bring you dinner? Or, you know, just know that Jesus loves everyone. I think we get caught up in the man dynamic of it, and it kind of like ruins the entire structure of it all. But I do think people are getting better.
I do think, yes. I mean, in Arizona, I mean, everyone says, unless people have not lived outside of Utah,
they don't know.
It's
different.
And I was raised in Washington, born in California. We moved here when I was 12. So like, I do have some church concepts of what it's like, and then lived in Arizona for 4 years. And it is a different world. Like, no one cares that I have tattoos. Like, no, like all the things, but like Utah, it's like, oh, she has tattoos. Oh my god, so weird, so crazy.
Well, and you live
I'm
in the
getting
Mecca.
Another one. So
you live in the Mecca. You're in the thick
I'm
of it.
I'm in lovely Utah County.
You're in the thick of it. Okay, so we're gonna talk about GLP-1s because you know it's controversial.
Yes.
So you recently started one?
Yeah, literally this week.
This week?
Yes.
Oh, so you're freshy.
Oh, I'm fresh.
Okay, and what made you decide to try it, and how has the week been?
Okay, we might have to cut this. So just saying that. A brand reached out to me.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's fine.
I don't care.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Brand reached out to me. I had already had, and my friends know who've done GLP-1s, I've had very strong opinions on them.
Okay.
Because I do feel like women abuse them.
They do.
As we've recently seen, like women do abuse them.
Yeah.
And I do think that's kind of like, it's a disease, you know, when we are, I feel like, shifting towards a skinnier culture again. But I have been fit and done sports my whole entire life. I've weightlifted since high school, like on and off, like not consistently. Fitness has been a lot of my mental health healing too. So with GLP-1s, brand reached out. I went back and forth a lot on it to whether or not to work with it, just because I did have such strong opinions. Talked to some of my friends who are in the fitness and functional world. I started at a very low dose, so I'm just going to do it for 90 days, kind of see how it goes. Side effects though, I mean, I'm on day like 4 or 5, and like I've been pretty nauseous. Like, I don't understand how women want to. I can see though, if you're desperate and you're like, I need to lose weight.
Can you tell me which one you're on?
Tirzepatide, however you say it.
So I have all the hacks.
Okay.
Because I will forever have to microdose for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Do you have PCOS?
Technically. You would, I mean, if Haley was sitting here, she would tell you why I have to microdose the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So very minimal amount, but you always just have to be on top of your protein.
Yes.
And when I say protein, it's not like liquid chug it down protein. No. It's like actual substance protein.
Yeah.
And then water too, being hydrated. Yep. So, but nausea was a thing when I was on semaglutide. Semaglutide was a bitch.
Really?
I hated that one. Oh, yeah, it tore me up.
Yeah.
Trizepatide's kind of like the, luxury version. You got like the Camry, the Camry, the Toyota Camry gets the job done, right? And then you have like the Lexus and the trizepatide, so it's usually more expensive, and and it also depends on where it's being compounded, made, whatever. So that could also be part of it. But my most advice I will give you is continue to eat. You have to eat. You have to drink your water. Like, you have to.
Yes. And that's the route I've taken with promoting it, as well as to women, that this is not a quick fix. This is not let's just shed a bunch of weight. actually use it as a tool. So that's, I'm training for a half right now. And so I'm like, we're using it as a tool on top of hitting my macros, water intake. Like, this isn't just let's lose weight and then gain it all back. Cause I feel like it's unhealthy doing it that way.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and everyone saw, like the dynamic with Layla, like whoever prescribed that to Layla, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
where are you?
Like, like there's a dynamic there that it's, and I'll admit when I first started mine with Haley, I got real thin. Okay. And then I came to her cause I was self-aware.
Yes.
And I was like, we're too thin.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'd like to gain 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And then we reversed me out of it and I did. And I've maintained it.
Yes.
I'm fine. I just don't think people can. And that's why Haley's always been like, you've done so well with them because you have to be self-aware.
Yeah.
So
like I've dropped 5 pounds in a week and I'm already like, I'm like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to lose more weight. Like but when you are, I feel like eating and you're maintaining, you're doing the right things. It helps. That's why it's there as a tool. So,
So has anyone had any opinions? Used to have opinions. So now do you feel like you're kind of like in the line of like this hypocritical, like dynamic?
Yes.
And do you feel like you need to explain yourself or are you just like, whatever?
My friends know me. They know, like I told them like one of my friends, she's going to watch this. Shout out Kayla. She's going to be like, you hypocritical. I told her though, and I was just like, I think there's nothing wrong with trying it, but my big MO to people that are going to watch this or listen is that to use it healthily. That's like my whole way of going about it, not hiding it, not talking about it, just being like, I am using this as a tool. And I think I just want to make that clear to people that.
Yeah. And one of my favorite clients in the whole wide world, shout out to Carly. I wonder if that's who you talk to. Maybe. No, I don't know.
Maybe actually.
She's in Utah County and she has thrived in a business dynamic of it.
Yeah.
Like that girl be printing money. Like I'm like so proud of her and she looks amazing and she's done really well. And I've like watched her whole journey. Like she's supported my business for years. Yeah. And I've watched her whole journey with this and she's built it into this business with a brand dynamic.
Yeah. That's amazing.
She's awesome. She's
doing
great.
Okay. I love it.
How do you stay, we're going to get to some intimacy stuff because that's what we do here. Yeah. So how do you stay connected to yourself? Not just as a mom, but as a woman.
Oh, as a woman. That's something I feel like I'm sometimes still navigating myself. I feel like recently, like I've literally just started training for a half marathon, but running has like helped me clear my head as like, and like lifting can do that. But I feel like sometimes when you're just lifting, you're like, oh yeah, like let me get a pump. Like it's like just pumping up and you're not really clearing your head. So I feel like running, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can be myself. Like I'm not scrolling on social media. I'm not this different type of person. I don't know.
Just finding, no, it totally makes sense. Yeah. I mean, which I'm terrible because this year has been insane. There's so much good happening, but like I zenned into that with books.
Oh, okay.
So I have always been, I don't read. And in my therapy journey that started last spring because my life was imploding. My marriage was imploding.
Okay.
My therapist suggested that I read and I like literally laughed out loud. I was like, I don't read. I'm not doing it. And we went to Hawaii and I read a book and,
like self-help books. What kind of books?
Oh no, it was the smuttiest book in the world.
I guess I should have
and then
that.
It like improved my sex life. And then like I was connecting with my husband, but it helped me like shut off my brain and I cannot listen to a book.
Nope.
Because if I'm listening to a book, I'm also folding laundry, cleaning, sending an email, and then my brain's not shutting off. Like I literally, my favorite place to book is in a sauna. So if you ever borrow a book from me, they are all like sonified. Like they are like the pages are all crinkled. Yeah. Because I love to, because we have a sauna and I love to sit in my sauna and read. So, okay. So I always say that intimacy with yourself starts like before the bedroom. Like it's knowing what you want, what you need, what lights you up. But I also think there's something to be said for the physical side, like actually taking care of your like own pleasure. So if you're open to this, we can talk about it. Are you like pro like self-love masturbation then having to, or not?
Okay.
And what's your journey like? Like, have you ever used a sex toy before? And it's okay to say no. Like we are in Utah. I deal with this all the time. Okay.
No, definitely sex toys. My husband actually introduced sex toys in the bedroom.
Good job, husband.
Oh yeah. He knows. Yeah. So I'd actually never, in my previous marriage, I'd never used a sex toy.
It's normal.
He served, my ex-husband had served part of a mission and like more of the typical LDS relationship between us. And then, my now husband being a convert, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. He just grew up different. Like,
he's got sprinkles on his ice cream cone.
Yes.
He's got a little spice.
Yeah. And so I actually, you're going to die. I went to a Mormon bachelorette party.
This is not shocking.
And it was a brunch. It wasn't even like in Arizona. And this girl was getting gifted vibrators.
Oh, okay. It wasn't a sex party.
No,
I was hoping you were going to say that. I was like, I used to do those. So yes.
No. And I'm literally sitting there. I have a kid. I never used a vibrator before. Yeah. I think I'd like fondled myself when I was younger, you know, the typical exploratory 14-year-old, whatever. I had been with boys too in high school. And, but I was like, wait, sex toys are allowed in the church?
Such a thing too.
So taboo, because I had never, and my parent, like, that was just not a topic in our household. Like, my husband's household was like, if you're gonna have sex, like, use safe, you know, protection, whatever, like, make sure it's with someone you love. It was a lot more explained to him. So for Mother's Day, it was like a couple months after we got married, he went into a sex store and bought me a vibrator.
Attaboy.
Yeah. And that was a game changer in our sex life.
Game changer.
Oh my gosh. Like, orgasm. I'd never orgasmed before. I didn't know what orgasming was. I didn't even know that was a thing. And I feel like a lot of LDS women will feel this. I feel like crying after sex is sometimes like triggering. I don't know if you've experienced that, but like, I cried after sex a lot in my previous marriage and going into this marriage with my husband. And then I realized, like, oh my gosh, I think my body is just, I don't know, like releasing stuff, like just,
oh yeah, totally.
Just, I don't know. And so that has stopped, and like, orgasms are the best thing in the world. And so when women are like, I haven't orgasmed, like, have you used a sex toy? I'm like, have you tried different, like, I love your content.
It's breaking down like the barrier of communication and like, and I've said this in my podcast before, like, it is not taking away from your partner, not being able to do X, Y, and Z. It's literally like backed by science, especially with age. You're too young to even know this, but I'm getting there. Like the neural pathways of the nerves, like around your clitoris, like there is a dynamic where, like, sex therapists, couples will come in and they'll be like, oh, she never wants to, whatever. And it's like, get a sex toy. Like, this has nothing to do with you. This has to do with what is happening with her body. And if people understood that more, and that's something I've always been passionate about. That's why this podcast is here. That's why I'm launching this brand, and people that are my clients that are listening will know, like, yes, we've been to Cassidy's parties. We know that she's passionate about that. And it hasn't came easy, right?
No,
like, especially in Utah, like, people who know me, love me, they support me, but then people would be like, oh, what does she do? And then they meet me and they would have an experience at a party or whatever, and then they would love me. Like, but it's just having a safe space. And I mean, good for him for going to the store, because a lot of people don't love to do that.
And now we have a bunch of different sex toys, and like, I don't know, sex life is great when you like learn how to use it correctly and doing it right. Like, I just thought, and I feel like most women think this sex is for men. I literally thought that. Like, I was just, we're
kind of trained that way.
Yeah. Like, I was like, well, what's the point of me having sex? Great. Like, just to get a baby? Like, no. So once he bought that sex toy, game changer.
Yeah. Gentlemen, if you're listening, go get her a vibrator, and don't go to the store. Go to itscassidybaby.shop.
Yes.
Okay. So I always do like little snidbits, and then I'm going to talk about your little, momentum. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Good with whatever.
So we're going to read some DMs, and you're going to help me answer them. Is that cool?
Okay.
Okay. I love my kids more than anything, but I genuinely don't know who I am anymore outside of being a mom. Like, my whole identity just disappeared. How do I find myself again without feeling guilty about it?
I think I would ask some questions first. Like, I'd be like, what do you do for yourself?
Yeah.
I feel like that's typically a therapist question too. What are you doing for yourself? Yeah. Because we can't, especially in younger kid age, like when they're really little, there's not a lot you can go out and do. And I think you also need to communicate that to your partner. I think your partner, you need to be like, I'm drowning and I need help. So I would ask them, what's going on with your partner? Is he supportive of you doing stuff for yourself? I did not have that in my first marriage. It was like, no, you're at home. And with my husband now, he's like, yeah, go get your hair done. Like, go out. I mean, even this, like, he was like, yeah, go to Salt Lake. Like, go do stuff for yourself. Yeah. So, yeah. And
I think that a dynamic is just like, it's called parenting.
Yes.
And you also created this child, gentlemen.
That is, yeah.
Parent your kids.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Watch your kids. Go put them to bed. I don't know. I have friends that'll be like, oh, my husband, like, I got to go because my husband, like, he's not putting them down. And I'm like, what do you mean they're not putting he created that human too. I'm like, he can put them to bed. Like we do that every night. Like,
yeah, I was very blessed. Josh was very hands-on.
Yes.
Like I did not change a poopy diaper for like 10 days.
Oh yeah.
Like
my husband's like that too. Sorry, babe.
Loves babies. Like his little brother just had a baby and he was just in it. And I was like, okay, we gotta go.
And we're done. Wrap it up, babe.
Yes. Okay. I'm 38, newly divorced, 2 kids, starting completely over. And some days I genuinely don't know how to keep going. How do you find momentum when you feel like you have none?
I think it always poses the question, like just going back to like, did you do stuff in your younger years that helped you, you know, but because everyone's answer is going to be very different. Like I have a friend who loves baking and I have a friend who loves gardening and fitness. So everyone's different. I think though, you know, let's say they had 50-50 custody, whatever, divorce, like on your days off, like do stuff for yourself. Like don't wind yourself up in like, what is he doing? What's he doing with my kids? Like does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So finding, and it's really hard, but like forcing yourself to remember who you are and what you enjoy.
Yeah. Because
that's why I started golfing.
Yeah. You golf?
I'm a golfer girl.
No way.
Oh yeah.
That's
like
so
we
funny.
joined the country club. Like I am golfing. Oh yeah. I'm in it. Like I am a 4L queen head to toe. Shout out to 4L, sponsor me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sponsor her.
Yes. I started golfing because it was something that I could do with my husband and I didn't let him teach me because that would have been horrible.
Yeah.
So You're like
take
hitting
golf
him lessons. I actually have a lesson tomorrow morning. Shout out to Brandon.
I love
my coach. But yeah, I golf.
Okay.
And it's fun and I can shut off the world and I'm actually kind of decent.
Yeah.
Because I have long arms and so and just like my build, like athletically, like I can hit a ball.
Yeah. I would ask the 38-year-old too, like, did you play sports? Because I'm like, that's for me. I love going back to, so I played volleyball. So I'm like,
you did?
Yes. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I love going back to just sports because it's like you're just in the zone. Same with golfing. Like, you're just, you're in the zone.
In the zone. And I just love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, do something for yourself. Okay. So we're going to do a covet this and then we're going to talk about your whole world. I don't even know what to call it. I'm going to tell you what my outsider looking in thought of it.
Yeah. I would love that.
Okay. So this week's covet this is for the woman who just heard Jessi talk about staying connected to herself. So we're talking about masturbation. Okay. So this is by New Sensual. It's called the Tulip. Okay. So it has 4 motors. So it actually looks like a tulip.
Oh.
Have you seen these before?
I have it.
Oh, you have this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So it looks like a flower. So it's body safe silicone, completely versatile, designed for wherever your body wants attention. So it's not just something you can use like on your clitoris. You can use it on your nipples. You can use it on the head of the penis.
Oh, wait. I have the rose.
You have the rose.
I have the rose.
So this one
is a little different.
You can literally like, I should have brought, why didn't I bring it? Yeah. But you can it literally has like these 4 petals that like can open and it's super cool.
Okay.
So it's part of knowing yourself. And when you've spent years pouring into everyone else, your kids, your partner, your job, coming back to your own body is like really important. So as always, it's CassidyBobby.shop and this is called the Tulip. And I started naming my listeners. Did you hear that in the last episode?
No.
Previous episode. So we're calling them the vain ones because we're not supposed to be vain. We're leaning on like, you know, the love.
Yes.
So the vain ones, you deserve the tulip. So get yourself a tulip. So let's go into the momentum.
Okay.
Momentum.
Yeah.
So from what I see, I feel like you're kind of like creating like a community of like a safe space for like moms and like connection and like activities and that type of stuff. So give me the whole spill.
Whole lowdown. So I learned how to edit like YouTube videos back in 10th grade. I was in like a broadcasting class, loved it so much. I kind of continued YouTubing into college a little bit. But then it just kind of died. And like, then I kind of picked it back up in 2020 when everyone was TikToking. Then I was getting a divorce. And so it kind of died again. And then I moved back to Utah, slowly started getting into it. And then about in October is when I really was like, we're going to start doing stuff. And I think it stemmed from a place of how living in Utah, mental health is so freaking taboo. And I think also after losing my ex-husband to suicide, I was like, why is mental health not talked about more? And like, even for males, I know I'm coming from more of a woman perspective, but for males, like I know my ex-husband had different issues and different things, but talking about mental health and making a safe space for women to know, look, I'm talking about this, kind of like you, just like with sex and all the things, like it should not be taboo. No. It like, this is why we live in a world where it's like, well, you have to look like this and you have to act like this. And it's like, do you know what they're struggling with behind closed doors? No. Like I had no one for years, like no family, nothing. It was me and my kid. And I'm like, I wish when I would have been scrolling on TikTok, I would have seen a page that was like, oh my gosh, I've been divorced or I've been this. Nobody should have to go through all the crap and shit I've been through. But they can see, oh my gosh, or they relate a little bit. And that's why I started my page. And so I was just chat GBTing just to like different ideas, putting it in like, what could I call this? And there was like 2 different logo names or whatever. I can't remember what they were, but then I put them I combined them into the Momentum project. So it's like finding your momentum again in motherhood, and like a mom, like is the beginning of the word momentum. I want it to also relate to women, because there are some women who don't have kids or can't have kids. And so I don't want it to just be a space where it's like, oh, this is just for moms. Like, because before being a mom, I was also just a girl and just a woman. And so I wanted more moms to just come to my page, look at it and be like, oh, she's goofy, oh, she's funny, oh, she's walking in lingerie, like, and she's a mom. And that the lingerie show, I think, was huge for me, because I have stretch marks, like I have, you know, not a thigh gap, my thighs are big, and I wanted moms to just be like, hell yes, like I can get up on.
When I saw it, I was like, get a girl, I don't know you, but get it.
Yes.
And she like walked with attitude. You guys gotta go find that video.
Yes.
She was like super saucy. I loved it.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, I'm the same way. Like, I don't know if you saw my like super crash out on the internet, and I totally was gonna delete it, but then I was like, okay, we're not deleting this, because, and I honestly just did it because I was like, I guess it was my Taylor Freaky Paul moment, which here's the dynamic of that too, and we can talk about that. Like, it's not okay what's going on there, and my heart goes out to her, my heart goes out to him, my heart goes out to those kids, and ultimately it's like we have some issues that like we've got to work through, and like we all have moments, we all have, like, my crash out was, I've just literally had so much come at me, and so many people close people in my life give opinions about what I was doing and how they don't want to be associated with it. And it just devastated me. And then when I shared that with the world, the influx, and I didn't realize influx of people that were like, please don't stop what you're doing. Like, I had some famous like NFC fighter dude. Like, I showed my husband them. He's like, what? He's like, I was like, I don't know who this is, but like people just like, we love what you do. Keep doing you. Don't listen to the haters. And it's so hard to get caught up in. And like in that moment, I was like, okay, here we are. Like, we're doing it. But having a safe space, that's why I talk about these things. That's why I say the things. That's why I do the things, because people need to know that it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to do something for yourself and try new things and be vulnerable and not be this cookie cutter perfect. And I hate to say it, like Utah mom-esque. Like, it's like everybody's matching at church. Everybody's hair is perfect. We're all perfect. I am here to tell you their life behind the scenes is not perfect. And it is okay to have messy hair, don't care, and be vulnerable and honest.
No, seriously.
So I love that. So do you do like get-togethers? Do you do like, what's your plan with that?
So, I mean, I just feel like I go to a lot of stuff, but I have kind of cut it back a little bit because I did want it to just align a little bit. I do think I entered into the Utah County influencer world, and I woke up literally, I don't know, 2 months ago, and I saw the same freaking brand like 6 different times on my feed. And I was just like, I don't want to be the 7th person and then be unfollowed from it, of just like, I don't want to see this brand anymore, you know, like. And so I was like, I still want to stay in the influencer world, but I want to be in a mental health supporter. I want to public speak. I want women to, you know, I loved listening to public speakers growing up. They've always just motivational. I just love hearing stories and being like, thank you. Like, I'm not alone in this, or someone else in the audience isn't, you know, even if it's one person, like I'm making a difference for one person. I don't need to promote, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I don't want to say anything specific, but I'm like, I don't need to promote this one thing over and over and over again and hope I make $4 off of it. Like, no. So I'm starting fitness coaching, and I just like, I want women to know you can live a healthy life and you can have good mental health. And I feel like fitness for me has always been that. It's like been what saved my life so many times. And I want moms to not feel alone. That's like my little.
So do you feel, I like to stir controversy?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're like saying thanks, no thanks to some of those things now?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, 1,000%. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I have definitely, like, I'm going to a fun hot Pilates event on Friday, but I'm like, it's Pilates, it's working out, it's cleaning your head. But I think there's other events that I have gone to where I'm like, why am I here? Like, and is it fun being social with girls? Yeah. How many freaking events do I need to go to before one brand notices me?
I've only been to a few because I don't get invited.
Yeah.
I am blacklisted. but
lame.
And people do not throw tomatoes at me. I feel like I'm gonna have this audience just start chucking tomatoes. Yeah. But it was really sad for me because I felt like there was actually no connection.
Yeah.
And it was all
fake,
phone in the face, like, oh, hey guys, I'm here at this event.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. And then nothing. Like no actual.
Or they'll follow you and then they go back and unfollow you like a week later and then they think that you don't notice and you're like, the fuh.
I would never notice.
I know.
So if you all had followed me, I didn't notice. But it's because, I mean, I'm just, I'm like, how about I have a really good friend. Shout out to Lacey. She owns Laced Hair Extensions.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
yeah.
She's great.
Love that.
I'm going to have her on the podcast eventually.
Yes.
She's been busy bee too.
Yeah.
She's always like, we're going to have a girls' night and you leave your phone in the bowl.
Good.
And it's great because it's like we're just actually connecting and that's something I've really tried to do. And I'm like, it's really sad that some people, all that matters is to like check in while you're here, while you're there. I was like, there's a like fun side about being a influence.
Yes, 100%.
And being secretive.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, oh yes, I am in Vegas and I'm eating this dinner, but that's all you saw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Because I think that's what the world is missing.
Yep.
And even though there's been times, and I will take full ownership of this. Like I've felt left out. I felt like I'm not good enough. But then there's been times when I go to them and I'm like, I don't even want to be here. Nobody's even talking to each other.
Yeah.
Like there's no connection. And I feel like I've made real connections with people I've invited here, like you, and like had actual conversations. And I'm like, maybe we can start doing that. Like, you know, mom events, no phones.
Yes.
Be
yeah.
fun.
I'll tell that to my club mommy girls. They like run a little mom group and tell them no phones, but
mom event, no phones.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
I think connection is what we're missing the most in this world. And I reconnected with this girl I went to middle school, high school, and college with, and she lives about 15 minutes. Shout out Anne Marie. We're going to Disney with her family. And like the other day we went to like a little movie night together and we were like, oh my gosh, we had no pictures, but we've hung out so many times over the last, and I was like, that's like a true connection with her. Like her and I were just like, I mean, last night we went and walked around Thanksgiving Point with our kids and like, we like took a quick picture because we never get pictures together. And it's like,
because you're in the moment,
because we're in the moment.
Yeah.
And these events, granted, are they fun? Sure. They're fun. But at the end of the day, there's not a lot of social connection behind them. No. And I'm just like, that's not, it's very draining. I've heard it from multiple influencers recently in Utah as well, that the social media world is so draining and people don't want to go to these events anymore because it's catty, it's petty. It's also, I feel like, very specific to certain women. And it's like, why don't we introduce a little bit more diversity into things? Why don't we bring in a different culture or different versus your typical skinny blondes, which it's fine. It's fine if you're blonde. I was blonde until like forever.
Just wait until the Covet event.
Yes. Yeah.
That is going to flip it on its freaking head.
Yes.
Because it is going to be everything that Utah is not.
Yes.
I mean, Utah is going to be invited to it.
Yeah.
The biggest one is shouldn't share too much, but there's gonna be one in LA, one in New York, one in Utah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely gonna focus on connection.
Yeah.
And we're not
focusing
on the typical, like, I mean, there will be that, but I'm excited.
That's
like,
good.
It'll be good. Stay tuned, everybody. Okay. Jessi, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Every kind of woman to be on this. I love the vulnerability, the honesty, the rawness. Like, you're always welcome.
Thanks.
So people can find you where?
Instagram and TikTok, Jessi.Bella with 2 A's. And then I have my podcast link, or my public speaking for whatever. My other Instagram is linked in my Jessi account.
And what about the mom?
Oh yeah, the Momentum Project. That's my second Instagram account, and that's kind of where I'll be posting a lot more fitness content. And yeah, you can find me there and in Utah County.
Yes. So if this episode hit you, share it. Tag Jessi. Tag me.
Yes, please.
Send it to the mom friends who need to hear that your story isn't over yet, and you can always adapt and change and do great things. I'm Cassidy. This is the Law of Cassidy. I'll see you next week. The Vain Ones.
Bye.